Come on down to Blurry Photos.
Blurry Photos.
Blurry Photos, where we can give you everything you want at a price you can afford.
How about a brand new conspiracy with all the extras?
Push, pull, or drag your preconceived notions in, and we'll give you an entirely new set of beliefs.
New cryptids on the lot every day at Blurry Photos.
Blurry Photos.
Blurry Photos. You'll look great in a 2009 GMO.
On the corner of 112th and 87th.
Blurry Photos.
Blurry Photos.
Blurry Photos. Trade in that old clunky ancient artifact for a brand new haint.
We're open 7 days a week.
Blurry Photos.
Blurry Photos.
Blurry Photos.
And that makes me the wheelin' and dealin' Dave Stecco.
Hey, you're going to look great in this, David Flora.
You know what? When you're selling a quality product, you don't even have to try.
It sells itself.
Welcome aboard.
By the way, Dave, love your suit.
Thanks. I got it on a discount. You can never tell.
Check out my new pomade.
Squeak. Oh, man. You're welcome for that. We got quite a fun time in the hopper.
The hopper is full of funness.
Oh,
for
man.
This one.
I hope you guys all have passports.
Yeah.
Because we are going to be going on an international adventure to the exotic Orient.
Oh, tell us, Dave, where we're going.
We're taking a trip to Japan, land of the rising sun. Ding, 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 ding. That's not Japanese. That's not Japanese.
It's more like a circus.
It's a circus of folklore.
We have done nothing but sell our product.
Well, once you get it in
The
your
whole
head,
time tonight.
Yeah, once you get it in your head, you can't stop. Yeah, Mr. Flora, tell them what they've won.
Well, Dave,
Perfect.
tonight we're going to be talking about yokai. This is actually from a listener request.
Nice.
Yeah,
See?
straight from Facebook, listener Jeff.
You tell us, we tell you. Everyone gets paid. Bada bing.
Bada boom. Blurry Photos.
Blurry Photos.
Blurry Photos.
That's just fun.
Now we can't stop doing that.
Yeah, yokai.
Yeah, you guys ever heard of yokai? We hadn't.
No, it's fascinating.
It's really fun. We're going to talk about what they are and what types of yokai there are out there.
Now, just to kind of put your mind in a general mindset, yokai are kind of a real folklore equivalent of like Pokemon. I mean, there's a huge number of yokai, and they're forest spirits, they're demons, they're actual anthropomorphized objects or animals or plants.
Right. And I think I read somewhere that Pokemon actually, a lot of them derive from yokai. I don't think all of them do, but some of them at least. And
there are some yokai that you may not realize that you are already familiar with.
Right. There are some yokai that we've actually discussed on here. At least one.
Yeah. So let's start at the start.
Let's do that.
Bring the heat, Flora.
So yokai are spirits of Japanese folklore. And like we kind of just said, they encompass a variety of traits from evil and mischievous to kind and benevolent. There's all kinds of them. You can think of them a lot like Japanese fae.
Yeah.
Like the fae folk, the fairies of the United Kingdom, the Europe, things like that. You know, the kind of mischievous spirits. Some of them are good, some of them are bad, some of them don't care.
Yeah, they're incorporated into stories, myths.
Right.
And it's important to point out that the yokai don't have a connection directly to a religious system. They're not attached to any religion. They're not necessarily like an angel or demon sort of thing. It's a folklore.
Yeah. Yokai, the word, is translated. I've seen it translated a number of ways. From phantom and apparition to monster and or demon. Although they're not the same thing as ghost. Now, the yokai are spirits, and a lot of times they are associated with nature spirits. But ghosts, to the Japanese culture, are more someones as opposed to some things. So ghost would be a person who has been cursed or does not leave the world after they die. Yokai are the spirits that dwell within things like the mountains, the trees.
And there are a few cultures on Earth who do spirits and ghosts half so well as the Japanese. They are so good at it. Their culture, their folklore about it, their belief system, they're just amazing.
Yeah. Now,
and their horror movies, as a result, are terrifying, bowel liquefying.
Yeah. And recent ones are coming out of a lot of yokai traditions and stories too, but we'll get to that. Sometimes they're referred to in the same context as ghosts, or they're confused with ghosts, but not necessarily the same thing. The term mononoke is often confused. Mononoke is another word for yokai. Some people think it is directly translated as ghost. Again, it's all sort of confused and mishmashed together, and in pop culture, they've all kind of mixed in this huge Caesar salad of goodness.
Yeah, and if you do get the opportunity to see Princess Mononoke, which is an amazing movie, you really should. And if you've already seen it right now, you're just nodding, going, "Mm-hmm."
Oh yeah,
which is the whole movie is just full of brilliant examples of yokai.
Yeah. So, like we said, if you think of them more as like the Fey folk, just in the Japanese culture, I think you'll be on a better path.
Yep.
For this one,
your life's going to turn out better if you just get your mind straight now.
You look great, by the way.
Nice suit.
So, when here's a little bit of mythology for you. When the god Itsunagi returned from the land of Yomi, he purified himself in a bath. And as he dried his body, each falling drop of water soaked into the soil and imbued the land with supernatural potential. And thus the yokai were born. So that's where they came from. What that did, in Japanese mythology, see, everything has its own spirit. And like I said before, mountains, trees, rocks, rivers, even brooms, things like stools, forks, curtains, inanimate objects, basically. Everything has a spirit. And when these objects or living things are given a focus, they come to life. So things that might do that, volcanoes, earthquakes, or strong human emotions help this energy manifest. Yokai have several supernatural abilities, usually, including possession of humans and shapeshifting. A lot of them can shapeshift, not all of them. But the shapeshifters are referred to as obake.
Ooh, so they get their own title, which they should, because if you can shapeshift, boop, that's one rung up the ladder.
I would say so. I would like to shapeshift, and then you could change my name.
Oh, man. What would I change it to?
I don't know. Spell it backwards.
Divod?
Yeah. Hi, everybody. This is Divod. Okay. I changed now into tree for you.
Change back, please. Can I just call you David again?
Dude, you took my power.
Well, I mean, it's that weird voice you had.
What weird voice, mine? It's my voice, mine.
Oh, God. Shape-shifting revoked. Down the rung.
Most of them avoid humans, but some of them seek humans out to terrorize them or even worse.
That's what I'd do.
Worse or terrorize?
No, terrorize.
Oh, yeah. Well, you'd fit right in with this bunch.
Yeah.
And we're going to get to some examples of some pretty...
Pretty
fun, silly,
I'm an
scary
animal
monster.
spirit. Yes. Coming to get you.
Hey, I got 8 fingers on each hand. Boogity boogity.
I would be a bakaneko, which is a cat animal spirit.
Would you?
Only because I'd say things like, look out, here comes kitten whiskers. Yes. I'm going to bite you.
I'd be a hebby, which means snake, little sneaky snake.
Oh, look out. There's a snake in the grass.
I'd be like, watch out, don't step on me.
Now, see, I'll tell you why I don't understand the concept of the hebi, of the snake animal spirit. Okay, I guess I get it, but for the purposes of terrifying, what is a snake animal spirit going to do that trumps what a snake would do? Fly?
They could fly. I mean, they turn invisible.
Yeah, but like a kitten, a cat, people just see the cat and they dismiss it. And then this cat's got tentacles flying out of its ears. And they're like, oh, crap. And then the cat's like, hey, y'all, it's kitten whiskers.
Maybe the snake doesn't do anything. Maybe that's what makes him so spooky.
Maybe to them it would just be terrifying that there was an animal speaking in English in a southern accent.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't even know what I was saying. Just get out. Run.
They can have offspring between a human and a yokai. And those are called hanyo, which basically means half demon.
Sweet.
A lot of times it doesn't turn out very well for the parties involved.
Okay.
But it has for the offspring. Sometimes they get the powers passed on to them, and then they become, wise men or somebody that's step above humans.
Yeah. I mean, that's...
heroes of legends.
Yeah, you get like a Greek mythology thing going there. You get some Hercules going.
Sure. Again, this is something I'm remembering from what we talked about in the Jinn episode, I feel like. Remember how they could have offspring, and a lot of times it didn't work out. Maybe the offspring itself may have been turned out to be sociopaths or something, but some of them have some latent abilities that are supernatural, things like that. I think it's sniffing up the same tree here.
Yeah, which is interesting. I mean, just that there's this kind of cultural equivalent. Everybody wants to see the unexplained having sex with the very thoroughly explained.
At least you can half control it. Yokai stories date as far back as 8th century CE, and even before that with regional and tribal folklore. In the Edo period, which was 1603 to 1868, stories were collected of the yokai, kind of like how they did with the Brothers Grimm for the Germanic folklore.
German fairy tales.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So there's a couple dudes that went around and got these stories together, and good thing that they did, because a lot of them would have been lost if not, and who knows how many were lost.
Oh yeah.
But it almost disappeared following the Edo period with the push for modernization in Japan.
The Meiji Restoration, yeah.
And there was a comic artist named Mitsuki Shigeru who revived them with manga comics after World War II. He drew up comics based on the yokai and the legends and the tales and stuff, and basically brought that tradition back to life through children and spreading these stories with the art and stuff. So good on him for that, or they would have been
lost.
Yeah, kind of pushed under the rug. Yokai stories can be thought of a lot like Aesop's fables.
Yeah, I mean, there again, like we were discussing this. There really is like a parallel between these Japanese folk tales and German folk tales.
Yeah,
they kind of hardcore.
Yeah, they're not for the faint of heart usually.
Right. I mean, there's none of this like, oh, you should don't go out at night because you'll get scared by a ghost. I mean, it's very like, because the following creatures will eviscerate you and dine on your entrails while you stare in horror,
and you will bring dishonor to your family.
Right. Yeah. I mean, everything terrible will happen.
Right.
And there's a creature designed specifically to eat the toes off a child named you.
But yeah, they're meant to teach these lessons and manners to children, and a lot of times it consists of just being kind to people and taking care of objects, taking care of your things,
And I do, like, having read a few of these, like, you just imagine, like, oh, if you see an old woman and like a kid is mean to her, and like the kids are never just like stupid old woman. They're like, oh, I saw an old woman, so I picked up a really jagged rock and whipped it at her face.
Yeah. Now she has to live with that bruise and scar.
Right. And I get the feeling like the kids hearing these stories are just like, oh God, no, please don't pick the rock up. None of us know what'll happen to you, but it's going to be terrible.
Why are you so dumb?
Please don't hurt that old woman. Kids diving on other kids who are going to pull pranks.
Yeah. That's a good way to do it.
I guess. I mean, you're right. The Germans and Japanese turned out just fine.
All right.
Yeah, I did it. I said it. Keep trucking.
I also read on their 100th birthdays, things, objects, and creatures turn into yokai.
Yeah.
That was pretty fun.
Now, what I read said that it was just things that had been abandoned. Is it all of them? Anything 100 years old? Baboosh.
From what I read, it was anything.
Because I remind you that I work in antiques auction house that at any given moment is filled with hundreds of ancient Japanese items.
Do you have pranks pulled on you all the time?
Yeah, but it's just because everybody hates me.
Oh, well.
It's hard to blame the supernatural there.
They could be possessing those people.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's right. Everything I do is right. Yokai. Knock it off.
Stop, yokai. So that's a little of the history of the yokai for you. We're going to break down different types of yokai, from the more famous or better known yokai down to the lesser known but still fun.
But still cool, guys. Don't blow them off.
Don't blow them off. So some of the more famous yokai out there, we've talked about this one before. I think it's on our Ghost Taxonomy episode.
Yeah.
Man, we covered so many miles on that we just keep going back to it and being like, hey, remember this rest stop? Remember this rest stop?
Which is good, though, because that episode was fun to do. It was awesome. Yeah. It's one of my favorites. but we did cover so much ground that it's nice to back the truck up and say, hey, remember this?
Yeah, and really take a picture of what we missed.
Yeah.
Anyways, this first one we're going to go over is called the kappa.
Oh, yeah. I was really excited because I didn't know about this, and when I saw it, I was like, I get it. I see what you're doing there.
It's a water spirit that has frog limbs, a turtle body, and a water-filled saucer-like indentation on its head. The water on its head keeps its strength on land. That's what keeps the kappa strong when it's on land out of the water. Otherwise, it stays in the water. It likes to wrestle, and it likes to challenge children to wrestle for funsies. But a lot
red
of times,
flag.
a lot of times it ends up drowning them.
Double red flag.
It eats cucumbers and human livers. Delicious.
I'm not counting red flags anymore. Just you keep track at home.
They're known as ravishers of women.
What?
Yeah.
He's got a dent in his head full of water.
Well, that's why they have to ravish women. I think that's just a fancy word for raping them.
Oh, man.
And they're not always bad. They're not always ravishers and children drowners.
Oh, my God. So in addition to being, let's just keep saying ravishers.
Yeah.
Makes this whole thing go smoother. You mentioned that they like to eat human livers and cucumbers.
Oh, yeah?
But what you didn't mention is how they get that liver.
Oh.
The liver is generally plucked out through the anus. That's where he gets that liver from.
That's the most direct route.
I think we'd all prefer that it just cut a large incision on the left half. The right half.
I think
of the
we'd
torso.
all prefer to have a Dr. Pepper right now, too. But I don't see
yeah,
any cans
if you're in a
around
river
here.
with a kappa, clearly things haven't gone your way. I'm just saying it will pluck the liver out of your anus, and that's unfortunate.
And they say that's because bodies are found face down in water sources with their butts in the air.
But then how? All right, I'm going to go now.
That's the yarn. They're connected on the cork board there.
Lest the liver snatching anist.
Anist.
I literally
ravishing anist.
I just literally just sewed together rapist and anal. Okay. Lest this.
No, you said it. I'm not cutting it out. Keep going. we know what you're talking about.
Well, lest
a ravishing anist.
Yeah, no, he's the Tobias Funke of the river system. He's an anal rapist. He's also the basis for King Koopa. Kappa Koopa, Koopa Kappa.
Sure.
Giant turtle man.
Yep. Mario, that whole turtle army.
Yeah. It's all very, very yokai, right? See, do you see? You knew a bunch about yokai and you didn't even know you knew.
I feel dumb for not having taken the time to go through the Mario game and look and see the connections where all the things came from. I bet Goomba is one, if that's not an Italian reference.
Yeah.
But I mean, a mushroom with fangs, and eyes.
Right.
That's got to be yokai. Lakitu, the cloud guy who throws out the little spiny turtles. I bet they're all over the place in there.
I could just kick myself for. I mean, like, how dumb of a 12-year-old was I that I wasn't stopping my video games to say, "Whoa, there's probably some pretty serious mythology going on here. I should check the folklore of the." Let me hold on. Who made this? Of the Japanese people. That'll inform my game playing experience.
Yeah.
You
were the only one that didn't, man.
Yeah. How dumb am I?
Well,
I did waste a lot of time researching the history of Legend of Zelda. Not a lot available there. Although I do still to this day do know the Legend of Zelda rap from the commercial.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Those are some crazy commercials too. So that's the kappa for you. Next on the list we've got Oni.
Oh yeah.
These you might recognize if you saw them, probably more than the name, but it's translated as ogre or demon or troll. And what Oni are gigantic creatures with sharp claws, horns, fangs, and or tusks, and odd numbers of eyes or extra digits on their fingers or toes. And they carry kanabo, which are large iron clubs, and they wear tiger pelt loincloths. Now, Their skin color can be of any color, but they're commonly red or blue. And they're also demons of the Buddhist underworld, keepers of the wicked. These are the things that they almost look like their heads, their faces almost look like some of those crazy tribal masks that you see.
Yeah, they've got the protruding foreheads, the kind of the bulging eyes,
wild hair.
And it's a really common subject for Japanese, especially wood carving art. We see oni at the auction house all the time.
Yeah.
And they're really interesting. As a matter of fact, you got to stop by the auction house just a little while ago and check some of that out.
Beautiful statue that you had there. Yeah, these things, in yokai terms, they're associated with mountains or maybe keepers of some deep forest, things like that. Usually characters you don't want to run into.
Yeah, and just judging books by their covers, it makes sense. They're nasty looking individuals. What I'm really interested in is that there's still a pretty good body of knowledge of literature that says, oh, these aren't such bad guys. Like there's a lot of either ambivalent or in some case helpful oni.
True. The weird thing is that's the case with almost all these yokai. For every bad one, there's probably a good one out there somewhere.
Yeah, and you know what? Yokai, they're just like people.
Yokai.
Yokai?
So, yeah, oni, if you Google that up, chances are good. I bet you would recognize what these guys look like or have seen them around somewhere. You may not have, but these have gotten out there in the world a little more than some of the others. Yeah,
they're such a common subject to Japanese paintings and artistry that you've seen one.
Yeah.
You'll recognize it. You know what we're talking about. There's one thing on this list that I'm really enjoying, and I don't know if you found this one, the Nue.
What is that?
It is an actual ancient Japanese answer to the very common question of what would you rather fight, a horse-sized duck or a bunch of duck-sized horses.
Oh.
The Nue is a mythological horse-sized nightbird.
Oh.
So the Japanese answered that question. We'll take the horse-sized duck.
Nice.
So that's the Nue. So if you're into that, go to Japan, fight one. Tough guy.
Yeah.
Or girl.
Look at you.
Girls can be irrelevant.
I see that smirk on your face.
Girls can have irrational rage towards mythological creatures as well.
The next one is for sure in Super Mario 3.
I love this.
The Tanuki. This is a raccoon dog which loves causing mischief.
Mm-hmm.
Raccoon dog. It's not part raccoon, not part dog. It's a raccoon dog. It's an actual subspecies of an animal that is called the raccoon dog. And because they didn't have enough words to come up with another term for it.
Now, there's a few things that will mark the Tanuki, so because you're like, oh, it's raccoon dog. How are you going to, Mr. Flora, say you're out there.
Yeah.
And you're like, is that a Tanuki? And then you pull out your small list of traits of the Tanuki. What are you looking for?
Well, you're looking for a triangular hat.
Okay.
Little hat that he wears.
Uh-huh.
He's usually got a bottle of sake with him.
Nice.
He's a shapeshifter, so if you catch him in his raccoon dog form, he might have a large pot belly that he drums on.
Okay.
Or there's a good chance he has enormous testicles that he's drumming on and or slinging over his back.
I'm sorry. What? Because I've seen Mario wear the Tanuki suit, which, by the way, just to bring this around, that's the little tiny raccoon dog suit that he wears when he flies.
Right, and or can turn into a statue.
Yeah, or bang out a sweet beat on his bongo balls.
Yeah, on a full moon.
On a full moon. Wait, that just on a full moon?
I think it's just on a full moon. He likes playing his belly or his balls as a bongo.
An enormous scrotum that he wails on.
Yes.
Now, what does that? What does the scene from Thriller look like when instead of Michael Jackson as a werewolf, it's Michael Jackson as a Tanuki? Get away! And then it's like a 10-minute transformation montage. His pants ripping. And him trying not to play the drums on his balls. And then he gives in. And he just starts.
Darkness falls across the land.
The midnight hour is close at hand.
Bunga, 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 bunga.
I do not think that Vincent Price would have signed on for that.
I don't know. He probably needed money at that point.
Oh, man.
Dirty, dirty thriller money.
So there you go.
So there you go. Yeah. He can shapeshift. He loves causing mischief for no other reason than to make people look stupid.
I
Here's
think
a hint,
he's just
pal.
trying to shift the
Yeah.
blame. Hey, everybody. Look how dumb he is.
That's projection, buddy. That's, all right.
Maybe if you want to make fun of people, you should put your
Did
stuff
you ever see
away.
that South Park where they all have the medicinal marijuana because their scrotums get huge and they bounce around town on them?
What?
The funniest thing about the episode was the music that played when they were bouncing around. Oh, South Park. Anyway, let's move on. We got a Tengu next.
Yeah.
Tengu are birdman goblins that live deep in mountain forests. They have feathered wings on their backs and beaks or absurdly long phallic noses on their faces.
Jesus.
We get it.
I mean, can we get some Freud over there?
They're credited with having exceptional skill with swords and martial arts.
Okay, I'm listening.
Yeah, and they were believed to be disruptive demons and harbingers of war, but the belief has kind of turned to more protectors of nature over the years. So back when they were, the stories were first going around and stuff, these were bad kids. But then as the years wore on, people kind of got that image a little bit softer side of seers.
Now, there's also some interesting theories about Tengu, that perhaps that the tales of them came from shipwreck survivors, foreigners. Their faces are blistered, that they have a lot of different physical attributes than the people that were already there. Mm-hmm. Another sources believe that maybe the Tengu came from China. So, I don't know, just throwing that out there. There's so few facts that I have at my command. I have to get them in there.
They're pictured a lot. If they're not in their bird form, then they're usually a red-faced man with a very long nose. You'll see these a lot in art these days, or at least mask work. They'll have Tengu masks, and that it's bright red and have these huge noses on them. But yeah, there are quite a few stories of Tengu in yokai folklore and the folklore of the region. Pretty cool.
Really into the Tengu guys.
Next up, we got Kitsune, which means fox.
Yeah, they're adorable.
Kitsune is Japanese for fox. These are shapeshifting, crafty spirits that fancy turning into beautiful young women.
Sweet.
At age 100, they gain their shape-shifting ability, and at age 1,000, their fur turns white, and they have grown up to 9 tails. And in some tales, they become omniscient.
Wow. See, so Kitsune, they've got a career path.
Yeah, they definitely can climb that corporate ladder.
That's awesome.
That corporate spiritual ladder.
Mm-hmm.
Some other abilities that they have may include flight, invisibility, fire or lightning breath, and possession of humans.
They have all the tricks. That's not fair.
These guys. Speaking of Jin,
yeah,
sound a lot like Jin.
They absolutely do. You're completely correct.
So we're going really quickly through, some of the heavy hitters and stuff. There's all kinds of fun facts with these guys that we just don't have the time to get into really right now. Kitsune have a lot of background history, extra stuff to them that you should check out if you're interested in it.
Oh yeah, we are just scratching the surface of this, and to be honest, so far we've only gone through the big famous ones.
Yeah.
We're about to get. Things are about to get real.
Yeah, we're gonna open the gate here. And let these goats out. So some of the lesser known ones, we've picked out some of our favorites here. Now, I should mention of yokai, there are hundreds, maybe even thousands.
Oh yeah, and another interesting thing about yokai is that while there are the stable of traditional folk yokai, they're also constantly being created by artists and writers. People just invent yokai, and that's
true.
So there is something of a discrepancy there But I think that's really interesting that it's an ongoing process. It's a continually renewing set of folklore. So I think that's really cool. It's like if there's nobody making up new grim fairy tales.
No.
And if they are, they're selling them as shitty children's books.
Yeah, and or really horrible Hollywood movies.
No. God, although I'm told that the TV show Grimm is great.
I'm told that as well, and I've seen it.
Oh, nice.
Anyway.
I barely felt the knife go in.
You want a fun one that might be up your alley.
Put one up my alley.
If you're listening to this podcast, a fun show to watch that might be up your alley is Lost Girl. It's all about fae folk in modern times.
Ooh.
If you have read Neil Gaiman's American Gods, it puts you in the mind of that a lot.
And if you've read Neil Gaiman's Neverwhere, I am very sorry. Worst book ever.
If you've watched Neil Gaiman's Neverwhere, then I'm sorry too.
It's just
I
the worst book.
haven't read that one. I like his other stuff. I like
That's what
American
everybody
Gods.
says, and I have to give him another shot. But man,
yeah,
I'm so glad we took this time to review media, both books and television.
Anyway, the Karakasa Obake is an umbrella spirit.
I love this guy.
It's part of a group of carelessly tossed items that were left out and forgotten that join together and get pissed off and turn into yokai and attack their former masters.
I love it. I love it because it's like the brave little toaster, but they just come back for blood and vengeance. Remember me, motherfucker? Yeah.
Yeah, it's an umbrella. It's just an umbrella, and like the part where your hand holds it at the bottom is like its foot.
Yep.
And then it has little eyes. Sometimes it has arms, but it's an umbrella that
just
it's
pissed.
alive and it's mad. So that's a fun one. Karakasa Obake.
I've got a good fun one.
Go for it.
One that, again, you might not realize you're familiar with. This is the Kirin. Now, it's pronounced Kirin, but you might recognize it from the way we pronounce it. Kirin beer. Kirin Ichiban beer has this thing on the side of the can.
It's true.
Which is really cool. It's way more impressive. The Kirin has got the head of a dragon and a horse-like body and multicolored patterned fur. And it's supposed to be a sign of great fortune. And that's cool. It's like Loch Ness beer.
I think of this thing as Japan's unicorn in a way.
Ooh.
It's a magical, horse-like thing that you see in the woods, and it foretells good things, good fortune. It's just all around a good being.
And you know what? My stepdad, big fan of
has seen one, caught one, killed one, mounted one. What did he do?
Rides it to work every day. That's how great he is. Pretty lucky dude. No, but he did get me. He introduced me to Kirin Ichiban beer. Whenever I'm home, that's what we enjoy, and it is awesome. So, thanks, Al. I love that stuff.
Nice.
Shout outs to Al.
And if Kirin Ichiban wants to sponsor us, we are always accepting sponsorships.
Absolutely. Now, I will say, I think that we just call it Kirin here, but I don't know if that's... It's like the way we say Boston Celtics. Like, at some point, everyone just says, okay, you're going to be dumb.
Yeah, it's the way that where I'm from, we have a Versailles instead of a Versailles.
No way.
Oh, way.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I love that.
Okay, so by the way, speaking of sponsorships, you guys, we got a new affiliate link on our site.
Yeah.
This is something that helps us and helps you. If you go to our site, you might see some ads, some banner ads on the pages for Craft Beer Club and Gold Medal Wine. And these aren't just bupkis ads that we threw on there, just hoping some schmo would click them.
No,
we
hope you would click them.
And
you're not some schmo.
Are you? You're not. Come on. You're listening to us.
Because when we sell out for liquor.
Blurry Photos.
Blurry Photos.
Blurry Photos.
Nice. It's like our own sound effect that we don't have to do the work for.
Yeah, these are affiliate links for us. So if you click on those either of those links and go in there and make a purchase and do all that good stuff, we get a little kickback from those guys. It's a win-win because we get something for doing the podcast.
Yeah.
We don't have to keep bleeding money for doing it. And you guys get beer or wine.
Yeah. I mean, are you tired of that weird look the guy at the liquor store gives you? And occasionally he mentions that his brother goes to meetings. Seems to be working out for him. You don't have to put up with that shit anymore. You can just order your liquor online.
That's right. On the site for Blurry Photos.
Blurry Photos.
Blurry Photos. So.
Damn it. I am bound to that. I can't not do it.
Let's move on. Check those links out.
Check 'em.
So the Kasane, this is a this is a woman who was born grotesquely ugly.
Oh.
And then later she was married for her money.
Well, duh.
And then she was murdered.
What?
Because she was ugly. So she comes back as a vengeful spirit and haunts and terrorizes the ex-husband and the new family.
Well, I mean, I don't blame her.
No.
It sounds like she just got a shit stick the whole time. Like, that's a bum deal.
That's true.
Poor Katsane.
Yeah. More power to you, Kasane.
Yeah, seriously. I will say this, though. You married the guy, so you fell for it. Is it fair to punish his future wives? Because they didn't, they fell for it too. For all you know, they're going to get killed too. It's not fair to punish them. Just punish him.
Here's what I'm guessing. He had them in the wings. He already had something going with some other chickadoo.
Now, if they're all like in your hot tub, toasting champagne, going, it was so funny that you killed your wife because she was so ugly, but now we have all this money. Because that's how it happens. That's just how it worked out. You don't know that he didn't have German women waiting in the wings. You don't know, dude.
No.
And so they say that.
He could have had Divad waiting in the wings.
No one has Divad waiting in the wings.
I will get in the hot to the tub. Right?
Oh, these bones are so tired and achy. Look out for Divad.
Here comes Divad. Oh, I did not have to the swim trunks that you had, so I'm going to the naked.
Turn the bubbles on to hide my shame. My point
Just kidding, I'm not shamed. Divad have nothing to hide. All right.
Wait. I got one more. Hey, look, I'm Tanuki. See,
I will try to get them over my back now.
Help Divad! Call the ambulances for me. Oh,
Turn bubbles up.
Oh, man. So my point is, unless they're willing conspirators, leave the wives alone. Punish the husband.
I see.
Leave the girl alone. Where's Rachel?
So the next one we got, this was a fun one. Kuchisake Ona.
Oh.
This is a woman who haunts the paths to schools. She wears a surgical mask, which is not uncommon in Asian cultures now.
Yeah.
Right? And she stops kids on the way to school, way from school, to ask them a question. The question being, am I pretty? And if the kid answers no, she stabs them to death. If they answer yes, she rips off her mask, revealing a hideous mouth that stretches from ear to ear, and asks, am I still pretty? If the kid says no, she kills them. If they say yes, she stretches their mouth like hers.
Lose.
Lose. What a righteous haint.
Right.
Kuchisake Ona.
You want to know how I got these scars? Lots of Batman in this episode. I'm into it.
Why so serious? Yeah, that one's fun.
Oh my gosh. And there's a male version.
Yeah. Korea has its own version too. They're color-coded in Korea.
Wow.
Woman is red and the man is blue.
That's amazing. That's just awful.
That's pretty bad. Then we got one called Nopera Bo. This is just an ordinary human, but they have no face.
That's kind of spooky, but not like, spooky.
Well,
like,
they don't do anything to people. They just basically scare them. So it's not like they're going to erase your face. What movie was that in? Well, that happens in The Matrix. That was always creepy. Remember when his mouth gets...
Oh, yeah, and then it just disappears?
Yeah.
You might have a hard time doing that, Mr. Anderson, if you don't have a mouth. I just watched that this weekend.
Nice.
Yeah.
Here's a fun one. Rokuro Kubi, which are normal humans during the day, but at night they are able to stretch their necks to great lengths. They are tricksters by nature, and they like scaring and or spying on people.
Well, duh, they're good at it.
Yeah. The stories say they got this way because they were punished by karma for violating some aspects of Buddhism.
Boo.
Some precepts and things like that. Some of them actually go a step further and drink blood or eat people.
Yikes. No, thank you.
Yeah, those aren't very good ones. Although some people don't even know that they're this kind of yokai. Some people have dreams where they view the world in weird angles, and then they wake up and they don't know why and it's because at night when they're sleeping their necks stretch out.
That's even worse than snoring.
Yeah. They don't make a neck right strips. Anyway, here's one. Tsuchi no Ko. These are snake-like creatures with a swollen belly. They're able to leap great distances, and they may have the ability to talk. And this is apparently Tsuchi no Ko are like Japan's version of Sasquatch or the Loch Ness Monster. So they're hard to spot, hard to catch, not often seen.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So can we add that to the list? So it's like Bigfoot, Sasquatch, Yeti, skunk ape.
Well,
Yowie.
I don't think so because this one's a reptilian in nature. Oh. It's like a snake or a lizard.
Oh, that's just like Obama.
Yeah, we'll add that to the list of government agents.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The Yuki Onna is a ghostly, often nude, beautiful woman who appears on snowy nights, floating across the snow, leaving no tracks, and terrorizing humans. She can freeze people with her breath, but sometimes she drains their life force through sex.
Sounds like my ex-wife. Oh! I miss her. Okay, so freezing breath and sex theft?
Sex draining.
Sex theft.
Yeah.
I call it sex theft. Is it like the...
Anist? She an anist?
What is she, some kind of anist? That's sex
Yuki
theft.
Onna. Sounds like an anist to me.
Speaking of anists, I've got one for you.
Oh, okay.
This is the Shirimi, which I don't want to give this one away, but translates as buttocks eye. This is a yokai who is, for all other intents and purposes, human, but right where his beehole would be is an eyeball looking at you. That's really what this guy's job is. The Shirimi just spooks people by running at them, bending over, and being like, "Check this out."
Oh, what a job!
Yeah, and it's a great big.
Excuse me, I'd like to ask you a few questions.
Wink. Yeah, the Shirimi is one of my favorite yokai because it's just butthole eyeball. I am a toddler.
And it doesn't hurt people. It just spooks them.
Yeah, just
like check out my butt eye.
Yeah, and just people just what? That'll startle you.
Yeah, anist. Then we've got the Akaname. This is a demon that comes out at night to lick up the grime and filth that accumulates in unclean bathrooms.
I know a couple of hobos that were into that.
This I would consider. Well, it's this one's considered generally to be a malevolent spirit, but as long as you leave it alone, it sure as hell sounds like a helpful one to me.
Right. I mean, just knock a few times before you go in. Just don't interrupt it.
Oh, you can't do it to people. You can't do it to people. Yeah, this thing's like the scrubbing bubbles guy. It doesn't look like that. I'm just saying.
he's potentially malevolent. How about the Bakizori?
What is that?
This is another creature of pure terror. It's a one-eyed straw sandal that has arms and legs. Presumably a 100-year-old abandoned sandal.
A bandle?
And just, look out! Don't put me on your foot. It's got a mouth. It'll lick the bottom of your foot.
Sounds like gin.
Yeah. Everything sounds like gin. Starting to get mad at those gin.
Where's my wish? Here's a fun one. Tofu Kozo appears as a child carrying a tray of tofu. These things are harmless and are often teased by other yokai because of how lame they are.
Hey, Tofu Kozu, what are you going to go scare somebody who's a vegetarian with the food that they can already eat? You can't even scare someone who eats meat with that.
Why can't you be more like me, an asshole?
Why don't you look me in the eye and say that? Oh, man, that's if there's a contest for the lamest one. Yeah, I'm an ethereal spirit. I take the form of a child. And, oh, no, it's not just that I'm a child. No. I also have, I have a little platter of tofu. And I just hold it like, tofu. What is he going to do with all that tofu?
Here's the plot twist, though. In today's society, full of GMOs.
Oh, that's right. Tofu. It's got too much estrogen
soy
in it.
Yep.
Yeah. Look out. I'm going to give you boobies.
I'm going to give you hair in your mouth.
Ugh.
I got one more.
Okay.
This is the Ashirai Yashiki. This is a huge disembodied foot that is covered in mud or blood, and it smashes its way into people's homes and demands that they wash it. Hey, clean me! I just imagine the Monty Python foot coming in, just being like, hey, I don't care that you're eating dinner. I'm dirty.
Real dirty. Now, couldn't he make friends with the Bakizori?
I don't know.
I mean, he's a foot. Bakizori's a sandal.
This one,
team up.
I mean, is the Bakizori huge, though? Or is it normal sandal size?
It says that it has arms and legs. Now, I'm going to assume that those arms and legs are the arms and legs of a human.
Mice have arms and legs.
I know, but this is like human arms and legs.
G.I. Joes have arms and legs. Barbies have arms and legs. Come on, man. Come on.
No. I'm sorry. You're right. I'm talking gibberish. I'm
Come
sure,
on, man. Get
I'm
your
sure
head
the
in the game.
Bakizori's
Bakizori.
legs are very small.
Come on, man. A sandal with arms and legs. I'm talking about a huge foot here.
How big can it
demands
be?
you wash it. Let's get serious, okay? So those are some of the lesser yokai that are out there,
and all of them are delightful.
It's awesome. Fun stuff. I mean, there are a lot of these tales that are out there floating around. You can find them on the internet and things like that. The ones that we found may be a little bit too long to go into on our already long in the tooth podcast.
Oh yeah,
but they're fun to go over and awesome to look into. So thank you, listener Jeff, for suggesting Yokai. This is
brilliant.
It's some neat stuff. I think in today's world, they're not as generally terrifying as they used to be. I mean, the stories can be if they tell about the woman who rips off the surgical mask and stretches your face out, stuff like that. That can be terrifying. But anymore, they're kind of trivialized and made into not so much a joke, but more of like, oh, that's a fun story to tell.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing you like blame when something weird happens. Like, oh,
right,
that's what that is.
Right.
Wait, there's one more that you left out.
What is that one?
It's called the Shinpopo. It's if you leave a pun unspoken for too long, it will literally grow fangs that it will pierce through your eyes and pin your eyes to the back of your skull. And I can't have that happen.
Well, then let's say some puns.
Oh my God, it's the only way to protect us.
For the love of God. Cool. Who wants to start?
All right, what do you got for us, Flora?
All right, I have a tie-dyeing service.
Oh, okay.
A tie-dyeing service called Oni the Good Die Young.
Oh my God. Yeah, hide behind the mic in shame.
Come on, man. That's a compound pun.
Oh.
Oni.
Yeah, man. Billy Joel's spinning in his grave for that. He's not even dead yet. You may have put
That's
him
how
there.
bad. Yeah. What are you going to follow that one up with, tough guy?
It's a interdimensional dating service for humans who want to have a lasting, loving relationship with a creature of myth and folk tales. And it's an online dating service called Your One and Oni. Yeah. I literally just threw the Oni right back in your face.
You totally did.
Yeah. With mediocre results.
Online dating services are that's good fodder for puns, apparently.
Oh, yeah. That's all I do.
We've gotten some good ones so far. I like the online dating service. Date Divad. Hi, everybody. Just come on date with me, yay.
Is dating service for just me. Divad.
I show you my tanuki balls.
Look out. I'm not so much for typists.
But I am so much for rainists.
Boo.
All right, so I got one more here.
Okay.
I got a reality show dance competition
I like it.
called So You Tengu Can Dance.
Slow clap. That was really legit.
Thanks.
That was actually really well crafted, and I full tip of the hat to you there.
So if I'm counting here, one tip of the hat, one wag of the finger for.
So would one of the songs on there be shake, 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 shake tanuki, and it's got a really good beat you can dance to.
Yeah.
That was a freebie one.
Oh, okay.
I just catapulted that one.
Yeah, you tacked it on.
Shake tanuki, playing on my balls like the drums. All right, you ready for me to close out our?
You tell me. Can I be?
Wednesdays this fall on UPN. In a city full of crime, only one man's got his eye on it. Sam Sharimi, very private eye.
Cap is tipped.
Oh.
Sam Sharimi.
Wednesdays on UPN. Don't blink.
Oh, man.
He's in a staring contest with justice.
Sharimi, in my office now.
Scrabble, scrabble, scrabble.
Don't
look at me like that, Sharimi.
Why don't you take this case and shove it up your ass? I already did.
I've got some things I need you to look over, Sharimi. Why did you... Oh, yeah. Oh, I guess.
Take a seat.
Because his eyeball's in his butthole. Sam Sharimi.
How does he fart?
It just launches that thing.
Hey, freeze!
Looks like old Sam had an ace in the hole. Okay. It's not our fault if they made a butthole eyeball demon for us to talk about for the next 45 minutes. Oh, but it won't.
Next week, Sam Sharimi. Bada. Keep your eye on it, Sharimi.
Oh. You sure these diamonds are real? Well, here's the monocle. Check for yourself.
Squeak.
Technically, it would be a loop, jeweler's loop, but he still has to kind of wedge it in there. I guess that's it for the puns this week. I guess there's no other puns.
Wait a minute.
What?
Actually, there's more space dust on this.
Oh, oh man, I can't even. We have so many more puns that I can't even pretend that we don't have more.
We do. We have some good listener puns this week. Here's the listener pun sound.
That's what listener puns
those are all
sound like.
Japanese children who have just escaped from Sam Sharimi.
That's right. They saw the... Listen, Sam Sharimi's trying to keep the kids safe.
Okay.
He busted that whole ring of surgical mask witches. Do I look pretty? Well, let me get a better look at you.
A little closer there.
Holy shit. This is the best idea ever.
I only spend half as much on contacts.
Hey, looking good, kid. Sam Sharimi.
He's looking at you.
Enough of our shit. Let's get on to your shit.
Right. We got some puns and we got some feedback.
Oh, well, let's do some puns first.
Let's go to our friend Bob.
Oh, bibbidi bobbidi. Painting the world with a brush of puns.
This one, I think, is when we were talking about the ways the world can end on the apocalypse episode.
Oh, yeah.
Bob brings it back around with, how about a new candy bar called the Spanish Ebola Chew? Its taglines are, this candy is spreading quickly worldwide, or it's a bloody good candy.
Woof. Now, so that would be the combination of the Spanish flu and Ebola?
I think so.
Boy. Ebola being a hemorrhagic fever, part of the filovirus classification. Oh, that's right. I just dropped some knowledge. Closely related to Marburg. And I'm done. Anybody who likes to talk about diseases is okay by me. Thanks, Bob. Well, I guess that's it for Bob. I guess Bob doesn't have anything else to tell us this week. Let's move on.
But wait!
What?
There's more space dust.
So much space
on these
dust.
puns.
Who's in charge of cleaning these?
The filth yokai?
That's right, yeah.
What is it?
Get in here and lick the filth off these puns. Akaname.
The Akaname?
Get in here. All right, Bob. Bob checks in with a little piece from our apocalypse episode, and this would be an Israeli white horse and trumpet sales business called Shofar So Good. References available from the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse.
Nice.
I guarantee there's no one else that's worked the shofar into a pun. Well played, Bob.
Nice, Bob. We got one more from Bob. This is on our recent EVP episode. He says, on the EVP episode, when the lady was hearing music, that being Sarah Estep, maybe it was Beethoven's 6th Symphony. Nice.
I like that a lot.
6th Symphony.
It certainly made a lot more sense than what Ms. Estep was peddling.
Yeah, for sure.
And I was sitting alone in my living room, and I said, I'd like to speak someone from beyond. And I will be just jack slapped with an axe. If who would behold me but Mr. Beethoven, the famous Beethoven, as he clearly says in this very terrible recording.
Who let us know who he was by saying the famous Beethoven.
Also, he played music for me because I'm special.
I didn't hear it at the time, but I referenced it at the time.
Sorry. A lot of people get offended. They like her.
Really?
In the work that she's done for the world.
Well, guess what? I'm not afraid to fight her. Yeah. Put that on the record. I will fight you. You, the Ancient Aliens guy.
And Hank Williams Jr. Jr.
And Hank Williams Jr. Jr. That's a t-shirt. Dave Stecco's list of enemies.
Thanks for the puns, Bob.
Thanks, Bob.
Good stuff. So we got some feedback on that EVP episode, speaking of which.
Oh, I love feedback. Wait, unless it's negative. I have to pretend at the end of every episode that I want it, but I don't.
Yeah, no, this is good stuff. I mean, a lot of folks ask for that link to the clip that...
Oh, yeah.
That
the clip that shall not be named, right.
Right. And so I sent it to them.
Right.
I mean,
we're men of our word. We're men of our word,
yeah.
And we were not whistling Dixie about it.
No, we were at least whistling "Whose Bed Have Your Boots Been Under?"
Right.
So
maybe a Nocturne by Frederick Chopin.
Who is that? Stephen Foster.
That Old Dog Trey? That sounds like Old Dog Trey.
So yeah, we got a number of requests for the link. So we sent it out and got a couple responses back to that. Greg Bach did want to hear it.
Of course he would.
Called that. He listened to it a few times. He said he did hear the water. I think he did hear the I can't breathe.
Yeah, you don't even like talking about it. I like seeing that in your face. You're like, yeah,
it's nasty. Like we said, man, it's probably not real. Who knows?
Right. You don't
if
know.
It is real, then but if it's not real, still disturbing.
Right.
Somebody really knows how to put something like that together.
Right.
But anyway, Greg Bach liked it. We got listener Chris, who we sent it to. Chris says, "Wow, you guys aren't kidding. That was way worse than I was expecting. Something just sad and disturbing about the voice saying can't breathe." And then a low mumbling voice, and he heard the water too. That's what we're talking about, man. This is... I mean, we really hyped it up, but I think most of that hype was founded.
Well, and not even hype for the purposes of generating interest. Like, it's the lamest trick to be like, oh, this is so intense, we can't even tell you about it.
Right.
And we're not like that. It was just darker than we wanted anything on the podcast to be. So yeah, I mean, and this is not you want to hear about it? Maybe you'd even listen to the EVP episode, and you're like, well, what's all that about?
Well,
we'll
true.
listen to it.
Yeah.
But then, send us an email. We'll still send you the link.
Oh, yeah. I don't think it's going anywhere.
No.
Actually, one that we didn't call, Bahama Mama wanted to hear this thing. That was one of the ones we actually called out saying, no, probably not going to hear
I thought she was going to take a pass on that, but she's made a sterner stuff.
Yes. And she completely tackled this thing.
Is that all you got?
I thought you said it was scary. I'm looking for something like that has an eye in its butthole.
I listened to this while I was sleeping in the basement of an insane asylum that's been abandoned. You candy asses. That's not what Bahama Mama sounds like, though.
No.
She's got the voice of an angel.
She listened to it. She
wasn't having it?
She wasn't having it, yeah. She thinks it's completely fake. She lays out some logic as to what the voices say, and then the sound of the water, things like that. The time frame that they're done in.
Because they're saying I can't breathe before you hear the water?
Yeah. And and she's definitely she's got some sand.
All right.
For sure.
Yeah, she's calling bullshit on it.
Oh yeah.
All right. I mean, I'll give you that. Now, my theory, what if she found it so disturbing that she's instantly created a mental barrier to it to say, no, this is not real, which I guess is just the lamest thing I could say, because then, anytime anyone doesn't agree with me, no, you're creating a mental barrier against it because I'm so right, it terrifies you.
Darkness falls across the land.
The funk of 40,000 years. Thank you, Bahama Mama.
Yeah, thanks for trying it out.
Yeah, it does. And you know what? And I'm glad that we got people from both sides writing back.
Yeah, I mean, it would be weird to be completely right in our disturbance of this. This clip.
No,
so it's good. It's
Bahama
good to be
Mama,
grounded.
tougher than us. Cheers to you.
Cheers to you. Bob Mears asked for it. Didn't hear what he thought about it.
Well, he's too busy rocking back and forth in a fetal position.
I guess so, man. Bob, I hope you're doing okay.
Come on back to us, Bob.
So yeah, again, if you guys want to hear it, let us know. Keep sending in those puns. Keep sending in show ideas and stuff. We've gotten a few requests over the past week or so.
We're building
that's
up
great.
Quite a tidy list.
Yeah, we were going to do one thing tonight. Got a listener request and
decided
180 on it.
Yeah, exactly. Because your idea was better than ours.
So we've got some in the hopper from what you guys are suggesting there. Thank you for doing that. We'll get to them. Here's some news. We are on StumbleUpon now. The website StumbleUpon. So if you've got an account there, go. I don't know if you can search. I'm new to StumbleUpon myself, but
how do you find it?
Well, we've got a chiclet on our site now. It'll take you straight to that page.
Well, let me go check that out. Go chiclet that out.
And you can go there and give us a thumbs up. I think they have thumbs ups.
Give you a thumbs up
for this site, but just another way to get out there if you like that sort of thing.
Chiclet, clicked it.
Click the chiclet. Yeah. I mean, I think you have to be signed in and stuff, but so that's a new way we can get out there in the world.
We're increasing our reach unto thee.
Like we said before, those banners for the craft beer club and the gold medal wine, that's affiliate links for us. You guys can definitely check those out and help us out and get drunk.
Right, wins, right? Win.
It's wins all over the board. So we're also on Facebook. Go over there and like us. We're on Twitter. Follow us, Blurry_Photos.
Yep.
Subscribe on iTunes. Subscribe on YouTube. Gosh, there's so much fun stuff to do.
There's so much fun stuff. I gotta come clean on something because I don't know if there's a way for people to figure this out, and I need to just. Flora and I were having dinner tonight in preparation of our recording, and we were discussing. We got some tweets, we got some stuff coming. We were discussing the podcast. Mm-hmm. And this thought just poked into my head, and I realized I'm not the most Twitter savvy individual, and it is my profound shame that I proclaim that I today, just a few hours ago, became a follower of Blurry Photos on Twitter. I thought somehow that it took care of itself, that I would just automatically, it would all happen.
And how long did that take you to do?
It took me less than 15 seconds.
And that's basically punching in your password on your phone or something.
I just touched the Twitter thing on my phone and then typed in blur, and then the phone was like, oh yeah, Blurry Photos, I've been waiting for you to ask me about that. I was wondering when you were going to pull your head out of your ass.
Instead of having that eyeball
Instead of that eyeball. Use that eyeball in your ass to look at who you're following. And I can tell you this, it's been the best 3 hours of my life. Having that so far, having all that set up.
I do want to point out one thing. I received a phone call from my mother.
Oh,
earlier tonight.
Okay.
Who had to straighten me out on my NASCAR knowledge. It was out of date.
No.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. does not drive the number 8 car for Budweiser anymore.
He drives a golf cart for who? No, I don't.
He drives the number 88 car for Diet Mountain Dew now. Sorry.
That is not
my B, you guys. My B.
That's not nearly as tough as Budweiser.
Yeah.
And then also 88 instead of 8 is like when you get
It's 11 times better, bro.
No, it's not. Because it's like the guy who gets the vanity license plate that says 2 cool, but it's the number
school.
but it's the number 2 and then KOOL. That person's not too cool. That person's too late. The person who is too cool is TOOCOOL. In the same way that 88 is like twice as good as 8. It means you couldn't have the same number and you're just trying to patch it as best you can. Sorry, Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Sorry, Junior.
Listen, I got no beef with you, but I swear to God, if your kid tries to drive a car, I'm going to want to fight him. Because it's juniors that I take issue with in the world.
Lots of umbrage with the thirds.
So much umbrage. Nah, the thirds, there's plenty of great thirds out there.
Okay.
But it's juniors.
So there you go, Mom.
Yeah, way to go. That's good, though. We need to know when we're...
You've updated my NASCAR knowledge.
Did she
I was just all Greg Biffled about it. I'm sorry.
Did she have any useful facts for our movie that's going to make us so much money?
Didn't mention anything about
horsepower.
Horsepower, no.
Such a good title. Such a good title.
You need to design the poster for that.
I really do.
And we'll put it on the website.
You know what? I have a good friend who's a ridiculously talented graphic designer. I can't be trusted, and our 2 listeners that have received certificates for listening to the Hollow Earth episode can attest. My abilities to create a computer-generated image are hilarious because toddlers do better jobs than I do.
Well, anyway, like we said, we got some stuff in the hopper that you guys are supplying to us.
Yep.
Got a couple things still that we want to talk about, so we might mix those in there.
Oh,
but
man.
keep sending us stuff.
And I don't want to keep the cards close to the vest here, but we got a little thing in the works.
Yeah.
I hope you like pageantry.
I hope you like fanfare.
Mm-hmm. I hope you like pomp.
I hope you like some circumstance.
Ooh, and I hope you like picking winners.
Blurry Photos.
Blurry Photos.
Blurry Photos.
Coming soon. So thank you for spending your time with us once again, letting us sell you our mysteries.
Keep sending us out there in the world. Letting people know about us.
Tell your friends that there's a reason you're happier than they are.
I am David Florason.
I am David Stexuni. I'm like a little fox. No, wait. Was I a kitten earlier? Yeah.
Can't
Because I'd say...
Sayonara.
Comme Benoit.